Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fuller Homestead. My name's Brian. It is chicken processing weekend here on the homestead. We have just shy of 60 birds that we need to put in the freezer. Truthfully, some of these birds should have been processed last weekend. Just did not have the time because we had rabbit processing and other things going on. And this weekend's kind of busy as well, but we're gonna make it happen. Now, here on the homestead, when it is time for chicken processing, it is pretty much a one-man show. That's bad news for me, but it's good news for you because I often see a lot of homesteads where it is not just a family thing, but sometimes it is a neighborhood thing. And I think that is awesome. When you can have a bunch of people running through, let's say 100 birds, it really, really helps. But it can be done by yourself. You just have to know the expectations, know it's gonna take a while, know that it is an exhausting day, even if you're doing it with community. So we're gonna walk through what we have, we'll process some birds, and that's the show for today. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so I drove out to the chicken tractors, grabbed about 20 birds. It is already warm out today, kids. It is about 91 degrees, the humidity is crazy. I've got some water heating here. We are trying to get to 150 degrees. Anywhere between 145, 155 is okay. Anything above 155 and you're gonna find that you're gonna have some problems with not just scalding, but potential cooking. So we're only at 126 right now. So we're gonna a little more time. I just switched propane bottles there. But that gives us a chance to go over here, see what else we've got on the table. Obviously water is pretty important to keep your work area clean. I just realized that I need to go grab my gut buckets here. But I have a couple of different types, 3 different types of knives. Got these on Amazon. They are a Jero brand, J-E-R-O. They worked real good. I believe this is a Dexter, actually. No, that's a Victorinox. I keep a little handy sharpener here just to hone up the blades. Different ones that I've collected to keep the propane lit. I do have a lawn scraper. That's a fairly recent addition to our process. A pair of poultry shears, glove that I carry around and hardly ever use, but that is for the scalding. Over here, this is for after we do the plucking. A little bin here with 20 bags of ice and then some water. And then here is our Yardbird chicken plucker. We have done this by hand. It is not nearly as fun. So 15 seconds in this as opposed to, oh, I don't know, 2-3 minutes by hand saves you a lot of time. Once we get this water to temp, I'll get back with you and we'll go ahead and show you as we grab the first bird and put it right there in our killing cone. Our water is getting close, and so I thought we'd go ahead and put a bird in the cone. We'll show you about the cuts, recognizing that we are respecting the lives of these chickens. This is for meat, not only for our family, but for others that purchase from our farm. Once we put the bird in, head down, and I pull out the head, I'm going to cut on the neck of the bird right here behind this area where there's a jugular, and then on the other side of the bird as well. We'll get a good bleed out. It'll be a little bit of a thrashing there. It lasts for about 90 seconds, but it's all nerves. It's gonna be flatline pretty much as soon as I make the cut, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and toss this one in the killing cone. I don't know if you can see the good flow of blood that we have here. Pretty much at this point, this chicken is flatlined. We'll go ahead and speed this little part up and then we'll get to the scald. Do one more temp just to make sure we're in the range, and we are right at 150 exactly. A little higher, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. Grab the bird out of the cone. Once those feathers start resting, you know it's pretty much done. I also like to tap the feet just to make sure. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna dunk it. I do like to do about 30 seconds, but I'll do it in 3 different rotations of 10. I'll show you what I mean. I'll go in and I'll swish around for 10 seconds. Pull up, another 10. Making sure that I get the feet all the way in there so these feathers will get done. And then after this 30, I'll pull up, see how easy the feathers come off. And if they pull out fairly easily like they are right now, I have no problem with taking it over to the plucker. Turn the water on. Turn our electric on. And we'll drop the whole bird in. And about 15 seconds later, we are done. Now, there are a few feathers that stayed on there. We'll pull those off at the table. It'll be fairly easy. We'll go over there and we'll show you what our next step is. While there is no race to this, you definitely want to make sure you get the meat cooled down as quickly as possible. It's really that way with anything that you butcher. I'm gonna walk through this as clearly as I can, just recognizing I'm trying to get it into the ice water. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off the feet. You look for the valley, if you will, on that joint, just to cut the feet off. We do occasionally have customers that enjoy the feet, so I'm gonna bag up some. I'll put those in the ice as well this time. Sometimes we don't do that, and we'll just let them be part of our compost. All right, the next thing that I'm gonna come around here and do is just pull off the head. Get that in my gut bucket. A few little feathers here that didn't come off in the plucker, not a big deal. Just pull those off. I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways here. One, if you were saving it as a whole bird, and then the second way is if you were trying to part it up. But we'll do both on this same bird. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right up here to the front. I'm gonna grab a section of skin right at this V of the breast meat. We'll pull up and I'll make a slit. And my goal here is to reach in and grab the crop, and I'm going to pull it away from the breast meat and from the skin. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll pull it up to the camera. It's kind of that little sack right there. We have let these birds go without food for 12 hours. Really all I should see in here is some grass, but if you had let your animals feed, this would be chock full of whatever you gave them. So we're pulling it away from the breast meat. We're also pulling it away from the skin, and then we're looking for your trachea and esophagus, because we're gonna pull both of these out through the back. We're not gonna pull this out through the back because I just broke it, but we're gonna make sure we get both of them. It's a little slippery in here. There we go. Okay, now that we've got those disconnected, we're gonna go back here to the back. We're gonna reach in, pull the skin away. Similarly, we're gonna reach in to the cavity. Gonna make a hole here, and not trying obviously to puncture intestines, things like that. All right, so that we can pull the guts out. Let's go ahead and we'll reach in here and pull this out kind of slowly so that you can see some of the process. There's the liver. Reach in there and grab the stomach so that I can pull. Oh, got the heart instead. Well, I guess I did get it. No, I didn't either. I missed it. There it goes. And then we'll pull the crop and the esophagus all the way through the front, okay? So we've got all this. This right here that has come out is from the stomach and not from the intestines. You will know the difference if you hit that. Then next, I'm gonna take and I'm gonna pull this last section of intestine to the side here so that I am making a cut right down here by the vent. Same thing on this side, go to one side, make a cut down here without puncturing, and then we're going to cut this out. Slowly but surely. There we go. Now, I'm gonna pull this to the side just for a second. Here is your liver. It's always good to inspect the liver, make sure there's no spots on it, make sure it's a dark, red color. This is a really nice liver. I give these to our chickens. They love it. Sometimes we'll have customers request some livers and I'll save those. You can also save the kidneys if you want to, but really the liver and the heart is what we send out to the chickens. Okay. Now I'm gonna rinse the inside. The only thing that I haven't pulled out that we really still need to, even if we're selling this as a whole bird, is to get the lungs. Now you can reach in there. Truthfully, you could just leave it in if you want to, but since I've got this lung scraper, we might as well use it. The lungs are on either side here on the bottom, so I reach in and I scrape. And this one came up, but not out. So there's one lung. Go to the other side. You kind of, after a while, get used to it. That one came out with it. And there's that. Give it another good rinse, and really, for all practical purposes, this chicken is clean. And you can go right in and put it into the ice water, give it another little rundown, rinse down once you're inside before you bag. But what we're gonna do is show you how to part up a chicken if you've never done that before. Another thing to consider, if you're gonna sell this as a whole, you can cut out what they call the oil sac here at the back. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do it. We knew we were gonna part this chicken up, so I didn't worry about doing that, but I'm gonna show you right here at the back are these glands, and you just scrape them off the back of the tail. That's what the bird will use to keep its waterproofing properties for its feathers. It'll reach back there, pinch that little gland, and then rub it through its feathers. Some people say that if you leave that, it gives it a bad taste. I've had others that say it doesn't make any difference at all. We're gonna take our poultry shears and we're going to cut down either side of the spine to split this bird wide open. Cutting that spine away from the ribs up here. You can kind of take your knife, cut through some of this loose skin because that really is all that's holding it, and then cut this away. Up until this point in history, we would throw this away into the gut bucket, but we're going to experiment based on a recommendation from a person who saw a demonstration that we did, and we're going to save the neck bones and we're going to package them for those that want to make their own broth. So I'm going to put that in the ice as well. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this. All right, we're gonna get a larger knife and we're gonna split right down this breastbone. Get a larger one because I just need the oomph to lay down. It's probably the hardest cut that you'll make on the bird. So I just line it up, give it a press, goes right down. I realized I didn't run this through my sharpener, so probably ought to do that next. And now you've got two halves. You could sell that as a product if you wanted to, but we're gonna go a little bit further. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off the wings and we're going to let the body weight of the bird do this for us. We're gonna take our smaller knife, we're gonna go back up under the shoulder here and right next to the breast. Just looking for that joint, comes right off, you never hit a bone. Set that one to the side while we get the other one. This side for me is a little more challenging. See what we can do here on camera. There we go, got both of those off. I'm gonna set these to the side right now so you can see what I do next. I'm gonna take my poultry shears, I'm gonna cut off this end on each one of them. Oops. Then we're gonna take our knife, we're gonna spread it out with the webbing out towards us, and then we're going to be cutting at an angle to separate the wing from the drum. So we're looking for that little slice there. Come through there. If you feel like you hit a bone, back off until you find it. Once again, it's webbing out. We're looking for that angle and we're just slicing through there, and there are your wings. Put those in the ice. Now we're just left with the breast meat and the leg quarter. Some people might sell these, sell a wing, sell a drum. We just put the whole leg quarter together. And what I'll do is I will take my hand, find that valley between the breast meat and the leg quarter, and I'll just slice down through there so that I can separate them. We do leave the breast meat on the bone, so that breast section is done. That's going in the water, that's going in the water. Do the same thing here. Put your hand in there, find that valley, cut the skin down in between to separate them, and you're good right there. And then we rinse off our work area and our utensils. That goes in the gut bucket. And we're ready for the next bird. And so that's one down, about 58 to go. I'm not excited about that. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time. Now, if I wasn't walking through every step and I get in some sort of rhythm, I can finish an entire bird in about 5 minutes or so if I part it up, a little bit less if I'm just doing the whole. It doesn't take that much time. This part is actually the easiest. The tougher part for me comes when I have to take it all inside, do a final rinse, and then do all of the vacuum sealing so that it's ready for our customers and our freezer. I don't have enough battery on the phone to show you this entire process for the rest of the day, and I'm setting up against a deadline here because I've got some stuff that I've got to do this evening. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here. I'll come back when I'm done with the majority of our birds. I'm not sure we're doing all 50 something today. We'll just see how it goes. It's the next day, and I want to give you a little bit of a look at what we did once we got the meat out of the ice water. Now, we do this in shifts so that everything stays as cold as it can for as long as it can. So I've got some leg quarters here, as you can see, and we're putting them just in a pot in the sink, and then I'll bring them out, give them one last rinse before I place them on a towel there right next to the sink. The idea here is to pat them dry so that they will seal better once they're in our bags. And so you can see we're doing that there, and then just trying to arrange it. We're doing a leg pack here, so we'll do 2 leg quarters per pack. And then after this is situated in there, I'll make sure that the edge of this bag is dry. So I'll take the towel, wipe it off, and then we'll take it over to our fairly new Avid Armor Ultra. It's a chamber vacuum sealer. We had been using our regular old school vacuum sealer, and quite frankly, for the amount of work that we were doing as far as numbers go, it just was giving out. It would overheat, and so I said, hey, let's go with this. So it's been great. After we let the sealer do its incredible work there, it's just kind of cool to watch, actually. We'll take it over to the scale, weigh it real quick, and then I'll just take a Sharpie on these and I'll write on the front of it 3 different things. I'll write the weight, I'll write the cut that it is, whether it's a leg quarter, a wing, a breast, that kind of stuff, and then I'll put the date, and then that's the way it goes into our freezer, and that's the way we sell it. Here's a look at what we do with the whole birds. We try to get this water to about 195 degrees. It takes a long time to heat up this pot, but we'll do that, and then we'll take the whole chicken, kind of the same situation, make sure that it is dry on the outside, or as dry as it can be. I'll stick the bird head first down into our shrink bag, and then after we kind of get that set, I'll go back and I'll get this straw. It's just a heavy duty plastic straw that comes with the bags. Stick it down the open cavity of the bird, wrap the remaining bag around it, and then take this little zip tie and cinch it up around the bag. Now, I didn't film my wife doing this, but when she does it, she'll actually give the bag a twist to get a little bit of that extra air out. Then we'll put the whole chicken and that bag into the water, leave it there for 5 seconds, just making sure it's fully submerged, and then the bag will shrink around it. Pull it out. The directions recommend to wait about 10 seconds for it to completely finish shrinking around. We found that it really doesn't necessarily even take that long. Pull the straw out, pull the zip tie close, then we'll take it over to the scale, and then we finish up by putting this label on. We only use it for our whole chicken. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to our little channel, we would love if you do so. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and you could be a great help in reaching that little goal there. If you wouldn't mind, also give us a thumbs up, and if you got a question or a comment, go ahead and leave it down below, even if it's just to say hi to family members or an animal that you've seen here on the show. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.